Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Fulham. I don't know why I struggle with that. I've said it 30 odd times already, but for some reason it just got stuck in the back of my throat this time. Now, if you've been enjoying this series, feel free to hit the like button or even subscribe for more cool stuff coming up when Football Manager 15 comes out. And yeah, let's get straight on with today's episode because we've got quite a few games to talk about. One in particular. Right, so we are going to start off with Huddersfield, and it's certainly not going to be the highlighted game of this episode, that much I can tell you. We were a little bit disappointing. I mean, we won the game, but we also actually missed a penalty, and that is saying something, because we don't really miss penalties. Yulsgaard could have made it 2-0 just before half-time, but Zuccolini's goal early on from a corner gave us the lead, and Fortunis managed to wrap up the game. Huddersfield were really, really poor, and we should have taken advantage of this game just to boost our goal difference a little bit, if nothing else. Unfortunately, we were unable to do so on this occasion, but we did get the 3 points and condemn Huddersfield, basically, which was pretty much all we needed to do at this point. Now, yeah, that's basically that. It wasn't really a change side, I just put out a decent team, and Trindade de Vilhena is a little bit jaded, but I'll give him a rest in some games a bit later on. Now, next up, we had Arsenal in the FA Cup at Craven Cottage, and to tell you the truth, I was kind of a little bit disappointed that we didn't win this, although in truth, when you look at the stats, we probably should have lost. Manolo Gabbiadini, and I love the fact he's called it's Manolo, isn't it? Not Manolo, although I would call him Barry. Let's just Barry Gabbiadini put Arsenal in front, and they thoroughly deserved to win the game, but Martin Odegaard popped up in the 92nd minute. I didn't think we were going to get anything from the game, because when that highlight came, I thought it was the standard end of game highlight. Nope, it was the equaliser, and we've earned ourselves a replay, which I kind of didn't want in a way. We did put out a change side, as you can see, and still managed to get a draw, which was a little bit annoying. I was kind of hoping we'd go out in a way. I know that sounds bad, but I wanted to avoid... I'd rather us just win or go out, not have to play yet another game against Arsenal, which was a little bit irritating because we've got enough fixtures as it is. I don't think it's until next month, though. Or did we play it? Actually, I don't think we did. Next up, though, we had Galatasary, and this is going to be our highlighted game for this episode. It was a cracker, and oh, God, I was so happy with this one. I'm just going to see you guys in the highlights because it's been brilliant. See you guys in a sec. The plan with Galatasaray was to go here and try and snatch a draw, or if we were going to lose, at least score a goal. Unfortunately, Casasola put through our own net just before half-time, and, well, I say just before half-time, like 38 minutes in, and I thought, oh, Jesus. There are worse ways it could have happened, but it was certainly not the best. Unfortunately, we then lost the ball high up the pitch, and Hamit Altintop, I didn't know he still played, brings the ball forward. Eventually we managed to win Casasola with a great tackle. Unfortunately, it means he's then out of position and is unable to prevent this. Not that that was his job, but maybe he could have cut it out. Bruma was then able to make it 2-0 to Galatasaray, and I thought, oh God, because a 2-0 defeat is a real tough one to come back from on aggregate. But then, just after half-time, we showed a little bit more fight, because we were really, really poor in the first half of that game. And we did start, I changed a little, I tried to change a couple of things. I know I probably shouldn't, but it worked this time. And ball down the side to Fortunis. Trindade de Vilhena gets the ball, and it sort of ricochets, I think, off of Mitroglou, but it went in the net, and that's the main thing, and he scored yet another goal in Europe. He just seems to love playing in Europe. Got us a goal, and I thought 2-1, we could take 2-1 back home. That's a comfortable... We could do something with that. A 1-0 win, we're probably capable of scoring a couple of goals against them. Thankfully, we've got an even better chance now, because they just dawdled on the ball a little bit, and we managed to win it back in our own half. Yulsgaard brings it into Tunnicliffe, who of course has just been fantastic for us a lot of the time this season, but Trindade de Vilhena, what a ball, unfortunately cut out. Bertoli into Fortunis, and Fortunis does what he does best now, just whips this ball in, and look who's in the box, Kieran Trippier, making a run. He just carried on that run and got himself in the box, and that could be a huge goal for our season. That could be the goal, in theory, that puts us into a Champions League quarter-final, to be honest, because all we need to do now is win at home against them, and no matter what happens, we're through. In fact, we could get a 1-1 draw and still go through. We could get a 0-0 draw and still go through. Basically, in order to... Yeah, Galatasaray basically have to score at least twice, really, unless they can keep a clean sheet against us. We're in a very, very strong position, and that is huge for us. So hopefully we can do that in the next episode and get ourselves into the next round of the Champions League. Now we had a really piss-poor game. Straight off the back of that, at home to Swansea. I'm not really sure what we were thinking here. you might think, okay, you had 17 shots and 4 of them were on target. Yeah, that was really late on. I made some changes and got Draga on, and Draga actually did have a great game. Oh no, Draga started the game. Draga actually managed to have an alright game considering the poor performance. Cleverly's goal, followed by 2 from Aaron Dirdiok. I didn't even see Cleverly's goal in the highlights. I didn't get a highlight of Cleverly's goal. So when Dirdiok put them 2-0 up on 20 minutes, I thought, oh god, we've just gone behind. And I looked at the score and it said 2. And apparently Tom Cleverly had put Swansea City in front before I'd even noticed it, and it hadn't shown me a highlight of it. Has that ever happened to you, where you've got it set to key highlights and a goal has been scored that was apparently so boring that it didn't feel worthy of showing you the goal? So yeah, it was a really bad performance in the end. We were just unable to take our chances. Very, very inaccurate with our shooting. That's the main reason for this poor performance, I'd have to say. Which then left us with a bit of work to do in the league. Unfortunately, we did actually get... Sorry, what am I talking about? We did get to play Arsenal again in the replay, and we were a little bit unfit for this as well. But Troglou did manage to score 2 goals for us, and we very nearly nicked something from this game. They dominated early on with Walcott and then Barry Manilow scoring for them in the first half, and then a Jack Wilshere penalty made it pretty much put the game to bed. But then we really did start to come at them. 2 goals from Troglou, and we hammered them. There was real chances in the last few minutes of the game. We actually won the game 4-3 on clear-cut chances, but not that that makes any difference. I was a bit disappointed in that, actually, because I thought we maybe could have gone through. We put out a decent team. Why not? It's a shame, but it's just one of those things that unfortunately has happened. We've managed to achieve our targets, though, of getting to the 5th round of the FA Cup, so that's the main thing, really. We're not going to get pissed at by the board. Now, this also meant that our game against Wolves was rescheduled. So, yeah, the game against Wolves was rescheduled. And I'll be playing that next month, I think. I think it got moved back like an entire month. Now, we've got Chelsea, and I don't believe it. It was a brilliant performance. I was a little bit in shock at how good we were against Chelsea. But at the same time, we did beat them 5-2 at Craven Cottage last year. So... maybe it wasn't all that surprising, but it took a little while to get going. Like, Alexander Kacaniklic put us in front with a great finish, and then Draga's penalty just into the second half gave us a 2-0 lead, and I thought, alright, dangerous, because Dzeko immediately gave Chelsea another goal, and he's got a lot of goals, so that's like his 23rd goal of the season or something. But then a little brace from Costas Fortounis, who else, popped up and made it 4-1, and the game maybe flattered us a little bit, but I don't know, maybe not quite 4-1, but definitely we should have won the game, and we did, and that's huge for us. Now, that, I believe, was... yeah, that was yesterday. We've got no more games this month. We'll show you the next games coming up in a sec after we've looked at the league. Now, Man City are still top. Chelsea are right in there with them, though, but we are 9 points behind. We do have a game in hand over City and 2 games in hand on Chelsea, so we could go as close as 3 points to them, and we could go within 2 points of Man United. We probably are going to get 4th place. If you look at the way things are, we're 3 points ahead of Southampton. We'd have 2 games in hand. Spurs 6 points ahead of Spurs, and they've got the same amount of games as us, but Liverpool, if you notice, we've got 3 games in hand, so they're probably actually our closest rivals in a way for that 4th place. Things have got a little bit weird though. Huddersfield look completely doomed, as do Sunderland. Palace might have a chance of staying up if they can win their game in hand, potentially, and go on a little run. Right, sorry about that, guys. Where were we? What am I talking about? Right, we had some stats to look at, I think. What am I doing? We're clicking that, that's what we're doing. Yeah, we did show the table. Yeah, we did. We did look at the table. I apologise for that. I had a slight technical problem and I've kind of forgotten where I was. Right, we were just going to have a little look at the... oh, not a club. It's actually on for once. Bloody hell. Right, Stecklenburg, most appearances for us this season. Not a giant surprise that, what with him being the goalkeeper. Most goals now is Mitroglou with 14. He has kind of picked it up a little bit this month, and Fortounis now has 13, so Alcácer really does need to pick up the pace a little bit if he is going to get involved in that. Although you can see the amount of starts he's made, he's still got a decent record, and he's starting to become quite a decent impact player for us too, which is great to see. Most assists, well, that's Trindade de Velhena, but Costas Fortounis has certainly picked up the pace with his assists now. I think he's got 5 in the last month alone, along with all the goals he's got, so he's had a great month, and if he can carry on that for the rest of the season and not get injured, then he could maybe do something for us. Player of the match, Fortounis and Mitroglou. The Greek pair, they've been fantastic this season. It's great to see Costas Mitroglou finally scoring a load of goals for us. Although I think he had more last year. I'd like to see someone hit 20 in a season for us. Hopefully there's enough games left in all competitions that Mitroglou probably can do it. Although frankly, would you put it past Fortounis doing it? He's got a couple of braces already. You never know what he can do. Zuccolini with 84. It's dropped down a little bit, Franco. What you doing, bro? Yellows, Zuccolini with 11 yellows and 3 reds. He's had a pretty bad season in terms of discipline, but still a decent rating overall. Best player for us, though, McDonald Mariga in the games. He's played 10 games for us now, and that's 10 starts. 7.32. He's been fantastic in the games he's played. Fortunas as well with a 7.20. We've got to be careful because Mariga could end up snatching player of the season out of under his nose, and that's kind of annoying. Although I've got to say, Costas Fortunas definitely my player of the season in my book. Right, now, the last thing we need to do in this episode is take a little look at the fixtures for next month. Now, let's see, March. Right, Man City is not March. So we've got Man United away. I don't think we're going to win there. We've been a little bit piss poor on the road lately, especially against good sides, and I think away at Man United might be a bit of a stretch for us. We then have our hugely important knockout tie against Galatasaray, which we have no excuse to not win. Then we have 2 more away games in the league with Villa and Wolves. I worry. Those are the 3 away games. We could drop points there and really start to lose our battle for the Premier League 4th spot. We do then finish off the month with Sunderland. So Sunderland are so bad, that's a home banker, you'd have to say. Just taking a look at the way the league has been going. We really should be winning that. Now, I'm not expecting us to win at Man United. I'm going to say no points from that. But I do expect wins at Wolves, Aston Villa, and against Sunderland. So 9 points next month would be good. 7, I guess I'd accept, but I'd rather 9. And we have to get through against Galatasaray. That is an absolute... We have to do it. So, find out what happens in the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you've seen, hit the like button. If you'd like to even more than that, hit that big old subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Until next time, bye-bye.